All right. Let's see. I think we're on air.
Says on here.
Okay, well, so let's say that we're on air.
We're on here.
We're doing a live stream. We're doing a live stream in a brand new way. we need to we need to double check that we're actually on air, and we're going to talk about the All Blacks and this new team that has just come out. I can see you got the update. We are live now. Brenna, me, Brent, this new All Blacks team. Any surprises for you?
If you do look at it, like it's pretty stock standard, right? I think probably the talking points would be you probably Luke Jacobson at seven.
Yeah,
But look, I think this. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ross. This could be like his first time actually starting at seven for the All Blacks, maybe.
I think so. I think so. I mean, I think
Yeah,
he's generally played six or come off the bench in the past, really, hasn't he?
yeah, yeah. But see, I actually don't mind. I actually don't mind it. Like I think the way that he plays, he's played seven for the Chiefs, so. And considering like what the attrition rate of what a loose forward is, I actually rate it. So I think Anton Segner would you'd say that would be talking around form the whole year would be the form seven, but can see definitely the reason why they would select a Luke Jacobson, and I think maybe it's good to see that you look at Ruben Love. There's a lot of talk around whether he was going to be starting 10, but I think he's probably just played his way through form, and maybe you look at Will Jordan, possibly Ross at 14, and not at fullback and having Damien McKenzie at fullback. But what I do love though is the bench. Like you've got the front row of the Hurricanes who perform really really well. Namia getting his debut. Lomax coming back from injury, but obviously there's experience there. And then you look at Paddy Tuipulotu and Wallace Atiti, like coming on the bench in the last 30. You look at that and you're like, oh shit, there's a pretty formidable forward pack. So yeah, man, I'm pretty impressed with it. I like it. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. The shift of Will Jordan to the right hand side. I suppose I just presumed that if he was fit, he'd be a fullback. But I
Mm,
mean, and they've gone with experience in that back line. They've gone with Caleb Clark, and they've gone with the status quo. I mean, really, they've gone with the
mm,
status quo, haven't they? And the back three, or even from 12 out. Which is
mm.
interesting that they align with Scott Robertson's selections from last year in a lot of ways, bar Ruben Love, obviously, who's forced his way into that 10 jersey. That backline is a very familiar backline for the All Blacks in the past. So looking ahead, I suppose the coaching team is saying, we feel like we can get more out of them. We kind of feel like in the past, actually, the right players have been selected. It's just that we can get more out of them. This is how we want them to be used.
Possibly, but I think like if you do think about the lead-in, right? Like we want to be able to win a test match, and the lead-in is 10 days. It's a new group, new coaches. They probably put like we even talked to Tano in and around the time that they've been together. Defense, attack, and so I think you probably like you do want to have a balance of giving guys opportunity because you do think about Namia's getting a chance, Ruben Love's getting a chance. You probably look at Jake Smith as a number seven. Probably not hasn't played a lot of time there, starting at number seven. Peter Larkey, very not green, but hasn't played a lot of test matches. So um, yeah, I'm not really surprised. Fitting in an awful, I guess, as well. Being able to get the debut, I think I would have thought that maybe Josh Morby,
Mm.
considering the way he has played, and we probably did talk about it that he would be on the right wing along with probably Will Jordan being at fullback, but um, they obviously have a role looking at what they're wanting with Damian McKenzie and his skill set, right?
Yeah.
At 15, along with Will Jordan being on the wing.
And it'd be fair to say that when Damien's been at 15, he kind of has been the form 15 at Super Rugby. Like, he has played superbly through the back half of games, even when he started at 10 at the back for the Chiefs. So, I mean, if
Mm.
you're saying you're picking on form, that is kind of true.
And Will hasn't played a lot of rugby this year as well.
Mm.
So whether on the wing or at fullback, like there is somewhat a lot of similarities between the two, but there is a lot of running that is involved. And
Yeah.
when you do have a calf injury that Will has been had, maybe having him on the right wing and just not being able to float around in and around the background and a lot of the work that the fullback does do. And David McKenzie is a big engine and being able to do that. And then, like you said, with the year at the Chiefs, he was able to play fullback quite a lot. So I'm just interested to see how they're going to use Damien.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think they have shown that in the past with a Richie Mwanga and a Bowden Barrett having two tens in that fullback role to have that double pivot. So I'll be very interested to see how that all works.
Yeah, and
Considering that Damien is going to be a fullback.
I wonder about the way that they structure their kicking game as well, considering the way that they've got those two there. Because Damien is a big fan of kicking long, isn't he? Yeah, he
Mm.
and the Chiefs definitely use that to their advantage. I wonder whether that mix of kicking where you've got a person like Damien who's so good at kicking long, and Ruben Love probably sees a lot more kicking from Cam Roigard, and his kicks may be more attacking in a lot of ways at the Hurricanes. It gives you that mixture along with Geordie Barrett of your kicking options.
Yeah, it does. I think what I am interested probably more so around the French. If you do look at the selection of a Ruben Love and a Damian McKenzie, the contestable game, because the 10 and the 15 tend to be in their backfield cover, and I know that Geordie Barrett throughout that All Blacks, they were able to get him back there to negate the contestable game, and whether they want to be able to have that same positioning, having him there. But yeah, obviously the height wise, I don't know that they are 15s. They have played a lot of 15 work, but if you do look at the height wise, it could be a bit of a key for the French if you do look on the kicking element.
Yeah. And then I suppose the loose forward trio, there's not a lot of height there, is it? I mean, when we were talking to Brad Weber the other day, he was talking about how the French like to bring in a lot of height around their loose forward trio, and they see them more as their line-out options sometimes in their locks. We've obviously gone quite the opposite direction.
We have, but I think there's Jacobs is a good line-out option. Like, he's been able to show that through his years at the Chiefs, with the All Blacks. Peter Larko, very explosive in the air and been able to get the ball in. To be honest, even if you do have your height-wise, they'll be able to work around their slips and their motions to be able to get it right. Go to 4-mans, 5-mans, short line-outs, and especially if they want to play at tempo, you can even be able to set early and be able to win the race. Especially the fact that we talked with Brad around them not being very fit. Not to say they're not fit, but if you go running to every single line-out, will the French be able to do that every single time? Do you know what I mean? So there's ways to be able to negate if you do have a short line-out with tempo, 4-man, 5-man, special options, and keeping it a short line-out, but. No, I think we'll have a good balance. I actually don't think the lining will be a worry. I don't think they would have gone through their processes around trying to. If they did think it was a problem, there's solutions to be able to deal with the things that I probably just explained.
Yeah. Now I'm just wondering, just looking at the tech here, I can see us on our screen. I don't know whether the people can see us out there in YouTube land. I think they can hear us. It's just audio. Sorry guys, we're using something new. And I'll figure it out in a moment. I've only just learned how to use this program, so if I
no, you're right, Ross. It is
completely black. So I'll have to figure that out in a moment. Let's just keep talking, and we'll go from there. Where is Vai? The question: where is Vai? Vai is concussed, according to the press release. So, yep, that is the thing that's there. Let me see if I can make this go to video.
I think I did. I think they were saying that I was quite low. Apparently I'm low in speaking.
Right. Okay. Sorry guys, we're trying some new stuff. About
We're trying to get better, guys. We're trying to give you more content and live reactions. We're trying to do this here.
What I can see on my screen is the preview of what it's supposed to look like for you. And then on the other half of my screen, it says program with that's supposed to be there. So I am still trying to figure out how on earth I get the preview over to the program.
And is that it?
Here we go. Can you see us? Can you see us now? Give us a reaction if you can, because I think that you can now see us.
I'm just going on my iPad here, Ross. Give me a second. Just give me a second. Let's have a look and see if we can get it. Let's have a look. Here we are. We're good to go, Ross. We are on.
You can see us?
Yes. You can see us, man.
Sorry, there you go. The backstory to this is that about an hour ago I was Googling to figure out whether or not we could go live on YouTube from our own homes. And yeah. Looks like we can. Now.
You can see us.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you joining us. If you've got any questions, throw them in the chat. People can now see, but with an echo. But I'm not sure quite how to fix the echo. Okay.
Let me try something else then.
Let me try. Put my headphones on. And maybe if I get the sound coming through my headphones, there'll be less echo. Right. Talk to me, brother.
G'day, mates. What a All Blacks team to start.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Cody Taylor. I haven't seen. I suppose Samisoni Taukei'aho. I thought might be the person on the bench as a hooker. But obviously our Moors played really well. But I mean, Taukei'aho has actually been superb.
They have, but I think like Safa Moore's been unreal as well. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to reward, I think, the team that won the championship with the Hurricanes. So, and Samisoni will be able to get his opportunity again, I reckon. But I think with you look at that Hurricanes front row reserve. You know, we talked around playing it while they're hot. They're definitely in that kind of retrainer form and playing very well at the moment. So, yeah, I think it's good selection. Being able to give Supple another opportunity.
Yeah, totally. Any other questions for you guys out there? I can see
you're talking about the echo. I'm trying to fix the stuff on the fly.
Am I echoing? Who's echoing?
Yeah. You know, you might be able to tell me this. My little friend in ChatGPT. And maybe they've got a quick answer for us. Okay. Okay. Maybe headphones seems to be the way that can fix it. If we chuck our headphones on, otherwise there's some more complicated crap that I don't think I can sort out right now.
I'll go grab some headphones.
You grab some headphones and we'll go from there. Excellent. So thoughts on Billy off the bench and not ALB. That is interesting, isn't it? That they brought him into the squad, not used him off the bench. But I suppose when you look at Billy and his form in Super Rugby, it's been pretty hard to ignore. He does run a lot on the flanks, doesn't he? But they have to cover a wing if you needed to. But they've got Fehi going there as well. Plenty of fullback cover options. With Love able to go to the back, Geordie able to go to the back. Yeah, that's interesting. That is an interesting call to have. I suppose a centre and a winger at 22 and 23. I mean, you can't argue with Barrett and Tupaia, right? You can't argue with that at all as far as the combination, given the form of both of them. Barrett being so good in the final, Tupaia being superb throughout the year, and obviously played well at centre last year. Right, there we go. Can you hear me, Brenner?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Excellent. So let us know if the echo is still going on. But the question that we got, Brenner, is thoughts on Billy off the bench and not ALB.
Well, actually, just looking at it, you do look around, like the fact that Quinn Tupaia can play both positions. So you know, if a Geordie Barrett does get injured, then you can bring on Billy Proctor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but if Quinn does get injured because he is at 13, then you can play Billy Proctor and bring him on. So I think they actually did cover themselves quite nicely in both ways, and it actually does reward Billy Proctor in the way that he has played as well.
Yeah. And I mean, with ALB, I suppose they very much know what they're getting, don't they?
Exactly.
When they said they were going to reward form, they didn't say where the form was. you know?
Well, if you do think about it, though, they have. If you do think about it, like if you do look at the Hurricanes and the way that they have played, and if you do look at the selections, like Moa, Numia, and Lomax, I think I do assume that obviously Lomax has been there a long time and he's more so on the experience side, but Whinganga is getting an opportunity. You've got obviously Ruben Love getting an opportunity. So like those guys had performed pretty well throughout the whole year. So like we kind of talked around earlier in the week, Ross, that you need to be able to have balance in a test match, right? You want to be able to like make them succeed. So I think they've done well in these selections, and I really love that bench. The bench has a lot of power, a lot of athleticism, and you know the ability to be able to break open the game with our forwards is going to be massive, I reckon, with these selections.
Yeah, totally.
Any other questions from the crew out there that you want to understand what's going on with this team? Please chuck them in there. It says, I'm shocked Proctor's on the bench. Surely he either starts or doesn't. Tupai is a bench player option. We saw that last year, but Proctor lucky to make it if he wasn't the first choice. I think we had a conversation along those lines the other day, didn't we? I suppose now is a good chance to experiment and see what that looks like. His first test was in the United States, and he came off the bench in that test, didn't he? I seem to remember, and he made quite a bit of impact in that test match.
Quinn or Billy?
No, Billy.
Yeah.
But that is a good point. That Quinn is a very strong bench option who will make impact, who will get over the advantage line.
But Ross, I do think around that though, like I think when you have like midfielders, you're not coming on in the 50th minute. Like very rarely will you see a midfielder come on in the 50th minute.
Yeah.
So I think for Billy Proctor or Quinn Tupai, like if they're playing well, they're only probably going to come on for maybe the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That would be my understanding. So, like, I just think Quinn and the way that he's played through the whole year, and what he does both sides of the ball, and like the combativeness that he does have, and he's obviously been really good around his kicking game, and the little subtleties around being with his skills, but I just don't think you couldn't go wrong either way. But I think Quinn, and the fact that Quinn did play really well last year at centre, and it probably, if you do look at the back end of the year, like Billy Proctor at the start of the year through his form was given a lot of opportunities to be able to play centre, right?
Yeah.
And then Quinn came over the top in the back end of the year and he played really well. So I think that might have gone into the thinking as well, possibly.
Yeah, totally. I can see that I've got a couple of funny boxes over my head. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll figure that out next time as well. But look, we'll try to do more of these. If you're catching us now, we'll try to do as much as we can live when things are breaking, and once we've figured out this tech and got it all going, then we'll make it a pretty common feature. The other thing that we're looking into is doing some watch-alongs where we're watching the game live with you, and you can kind of chat with us, and we can talk about the game as we go. The question here on Jacobson starting over TT, and Ardie not at his best position of 7. What about Ardie? I mean, I suppose everyone just expected Ardie to be at 7. It was just.
Well, if you do think around Ardie, he did get World Player of the Year at number 8, didn't he?
Well, that's true. That's true.
So to be honest, whether he's at 7 or 8, it doesn't really change his game, right? Without the way that he does play.
Yeah.
But look, I do look at this and I do think like Luke Jacobson, like he has been riddled with injuries, unfortunately, in a lot of his career. So for him to get a chance and have a crack, I think I'm really looking forward to seeing how he goes at 7. And we've just lost Ross, but that's okay. Hopefully, we'll get him back.
Okay, I can still.
That would be my answer to the question. I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where Ardie plays, to be honest. I think him at 8 or 7 doesn't change for his role. I just really like the flexibility that with the Jacobson, with the way that he does play. We've talked around a lot how good he is around all the nitty gritty stuff, and Brad actually talked about it earlier in the week around how good he is, and then Peter Larkai, the way that Peter Larkai has played the whole year. Again, getting him on the third, whether he's 6, 7 or 8, his effort areas and the way that he does play is exciting. So I'm definitely looking forward to that trio working collectively.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me still?
Just on the run here, just going to go onto YouTube and we'll just see if there's actually any more questions coming through. I will keep that on pause and just get any more. What have we got here? Yes, surprise Paddy's coming off the bench with Tupavai out. Darian Lord are in form, but I thought the experience of Patrick would be a bit more attractive to start. Yeah, look, I think it's a valid point. I think experience, but look, I think Sam Derry and Josh Lord will do a job within the first 50, 60 minutes, and then like I said, with the bench that we do have, it's going to be exciting, especially under a dry roof, having a Paddy Tuipulotu, Satiti, Numia, Amur coming on. Maybe they just see that having Paddy come off the bench for that last 30 minutes, along with experience, if the game is tight, you could bring him on with the experience of playing so many test matches. So, I think that's a good option. You're back, Ross.
You can see me?
I can see you, mate. Don't worry, we just asked a question about Paddy Tuipulotu.
Okay.
And with Sam Derry. So there's actually a good question from at young Swami 547.
Righty.
That's a really good question. So.
Okay. Well, you can hear me, but you can't see.
I can hear you, and I wasn't. I can see you now. Oh, actually, let's do it again. Let's see where you're at. Ross. Can we see you? No, we can't see you, Ross. But that's all right. Any more, Ross? I'll keep going on this, mate. I'll just keep running ship till we see your beautiful face, mate. So I'll keep going. What do we got here? Bryson 1559. Do you guys think Proctor can really do a bench roll and add impact? Surely he's a better starter, and it's either him or Quinn starting. Ross, you're back on, mate.
I am. I can hear an echo though.
Okay. Let me say that again. Do you guys think Proctor can really do a bench roll and add impact? Surely he's a better starter, and it's either him or Quinn starting. Look, I think it's either or. To be honest, like yes, Billy probably hasn't played as much off the bench. If you do think about it, in his time with the Hurricanes, it's pretty much the number one guy at number 13 for the Hurricanes, even this year, even years previously. Whereas Quinn's probably had a bit more traffic in terms of like Anton Leonard-Brown being there, and even Alex Nankerville, so and Daniel Rona as well. So he has that versatility to be able to go off the bench. But look, I just think you get Quinn Tupaea out there. Look, I think if you talk around form and the way that he has played his skill set around so many areas and attributes that he does have, I just think it's a no-brainer being able to have him on. But very valid question around with Billy. He is a very good starter, but he's going to have to be able to show that he can come off the bench as well. And it might not just be that Billy won't get an opportunity later in the test, later out through the year, like Quinn Tupaea was able to do last year, but I just think you have to reward Quinn with the way that he has been playing.
I think it's really interesting the lock stuff. Josh Lord, Sam Derry. What would happen if Fabian Holland was fit? What would we be looking at here?
Well, I think if you do look at last year, Sam Derry was probably the one that missed out, right? So I think the fact that there is no Fabian Holland, there is no Tupou Vaa'i, Sam Derry is a very good lineup caller, has played very well for the Blues in a pretty they made the semi-finals, but probably not to where they were. But to answer your question, Ross, I do think if Fabian Holland was there, then I think Sam Derry would miss out, because Paddy Tuipulotu coming off the bench, you wouldn't be able to hear this, Ross, but him coming off the bench for the last 30 minutes, along with that forward pack, and with his experience in a big test match, playing so many, I think it's a good call for having him come off the bench. I think he adds more impetus off the bench than a Sam Derry does.
Yeah. And Cortez gets that start at 9. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think we were actually probably the other way, right? Thinking there's a Kyle Preston with his selection. And he's very surprised around his selection. But look, I think Cortez at Atima has played that 1-2 punch with him and Cam. Probably the last 24 months, experience. Probably has a very good passing game, supporting game. Very similar, probably I do think, to a Kyle Preston around those attributes, and quite competitive around the breakdown. So, look, not surprised, but thought maybe Kyle Preston would be second. The fact that he was selected for his skill set, but yeah, Cortez has been able to. He's played really well, especially in the back end of the year. I think the last handful of matches and going into the final series as well, he probably had the best. That was the best part of the season, the way that he was playing.
Great reward for Fletcher Newell. He had a good year. It's cool for him to get that start.
What was that, sorry, Ross? I just missed to say that again.
Fletcher Newell. He had a really good year.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Yep. Yeah, and again, experience. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't buy experience at the test level, and especially when it comes to set piece, very good around the scrummaging area, at the tight stuff. And I think, like I said, this French team that has come down, they're a lot better than they were last year. And I do look at that bench again. I hate to harp on about it, but having those guys coming on, Namir, Lomax is very experienced, but that last 30, 20 minutes, I think it's just going to set up really, really nicely for those guys as well.
Nice. If you've got any more questions, chuck them in there. Please give us a bit of feedback on whether the tech issues are finished too. It'd be good to know. I'm getting some feedback in my cans, so maybe it's working, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Right. Brynner, I think you got to hit the road, don't you? It was, we've reached 4:30.
Yes, maybe that's it. Yeah, but that's it. We'll try this again though, Ross. We at least we got the visual out there. Bit of technical difficulties, but
yeah,
we're all doing it. We just want to get the content out for the ARP, right? We want to get out to our fans.
Yeah.
You know, we want to give all the hot stuff, everything. You know, some really good questions. You know.
Yeah, awesome guys. So thank you for your questions. Appreciate you tuning in. There's 54 of you right now, and we will catch up with you soon. Cheers, brother.
Okay.